Hello, welcome to this English podcast. Here you will improve your English level. I just ask you to subscribe to the channel, leave your like and your comment. In our podcast today, we will talk about how you can learn the language faster. Many people take a long time to become fluent and speak like native English speakers. First, I want to start by saying how I am becoming fluent in the fastest way. When I started practicing reading and listening to short texts every day, repeatedly, every day, I began to notice that my understanding of the language was increasing, but this little by little, day after day, is also something automatic that becomes engraved in your mind. You need to practice repetition until you completely master the text you're studying. You cannot mix too much content at once. It has to be something organized and planned. The goal of becoming fluent in English must be well defined within you. Not everyone can achieve fluency. Many stop and give up halfway. Learning a language is difficult and laborious, requiring a lot of discipline and dedication. However, those who can overcome these difficulties achieve their goal. If you are a beginner, start with the most basic content. If you are already intermediate, gradually increase the level of difficulty. If you are already advanced, congratulations.
I want to thank you for being here today on our podcast, sharing with our listeners who are on this journey and learning the English language. Thank you very much. I see that you have a good level and your English is very fluent. You really have the ability and experience to give tips and teach a lot of what you have learned. I am also a good student and practitioner of the language. I have been on this journey for a long time. I have already traveled to some countries for language exchange, countries like England, Canada, and the United States. Of these three countries, the one I liked the most was the United States. I was amazed by the purchasing power of Americans. You can get good and original things for very little money, while in my country, Brazil, everything is very expensive and difficult to buy. The price of a car is absurd, very expensive. Another thing that really caught my attention was the education of the people who drive cars. Traffic laws are literally enforced. The police appeared out of nowhere. All countries should operate this way. I was amazed by many beautiful and wonderful places. I walked around Central Park, took a long walk on the famous avenue called Times Square, and then I traveled to California, where I visited the Venice Beach Boardwalk, where the Santa Monica Pier is. In short, I had the time and opportunity to practice my English and learn a lot from native speakers. Your tips are very important and valuable. I hope they help many people here. What country are you living in now?
Right now I'm living in Australia. I've been living there for 2 years, but I spent a good amount of time living in England, in London. And one of the things I found really strange about London was that it rained every day. British English sounds very different from American English. Their accent is very accentuated with the sound of the letter T in words. I personally really like the American accent. I think I'm already very used to it. I grew up listening to American English. But I'm really enjoying Australia. The climate here is wonderful. The people are very polite and attentive. The quality of life here is very good. There are many job opportunities. The salary you earn here is also very good. My house is very close to the beach. I can see the sea from my window. There are several supermarkets, gas stations, pharmacies, shopping centers, and banks nearby. New Year's Eve was a beautiful celebration here in the city of Sydney. There was a wonderful fireworks display on the beachfront. Thousands of people from all over the world were here to take part in our end-of-year party. English has really given me many opportunities to get to know new countries, meet new people and cultures. This is very enriching for a human being. I currently work teaching the language. I have online courses and in-person courses as well. My students are very dedicated and fluent in the language. I have students from several countries in the online course. but I want to thank this podcast for this opportunity to share my knowledge. I hope I have helped with some tips.
I hope to see you again.
That's it, guys. Let's leave it here. Until the next podcast, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Bye bye.